Hey guys, and welcome to another tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this really awesome abstract scene in Blender 2.81. We're going to be using the Eevee rendering engine. So if I close this here, you can see this is the scene. It's really simple. We got two planes, and I'm going to be putting a link in the description below to to a model on BlendSwap of this low poly deer. It's not mine. I didn't make it. So full credit to the person who made it. That's all in the description below. So go ahead, download that. Extract the zip folder on your desktop or wherever, and then we'll get right into this tutorial. Okay, so for a brand new scene open up in Blender, we're going to hit A to select everything, and then X and delete. Now, once you've gone to the link below, like I mentioned earlier, and download the blend file, just extract the zip to your desktop or wherever, and then what we're going to do is go File, and we're going to go Append. So go down to Append, click on here, and then what you're going to do is go to wherever you saved it. So I put mine on my desktop. I'll go to this one here, Deer Low Poly, then click on this, and then go onto Object, and it's going to select all of these by hitting A, and then we're going to go Append. And then what we're going to do is come over here, select the deer mesh here, and then go Control I to select everything else, and then we're going to go X and delete. And then with our deer here selected, we're just going to go to this tab here, our Mesh Data tab, Object Data tab. Click on that, get rid of the vertex groups, and also click on key 3 and just go minus, 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 and minus, just to get rid of all those shape keys, and then close that up. So here we have our deer, and then what we're going to do is go Shift A, and we're going to go Mesh and add a plane, and we're going to hit S8 to scale a plane up 8 times, and hit Enter. Then what we're going to do is grab our deer, scale it down, like so, go to our front orthographic view, go RZ minus 90 to rotate it 90 degrees, like this, and then G Z to bring it down. So this is our front orthographic view. Bring it in here like so, just roughly here. It doesn't have to be exact because we're going to be displacing the floor anyway. Then we're going to go Control A and apply the scale. Select the floor as well, go Control A, and we're going to apply the scale. So we can see here we have our deer, and then we have our plane here. With our plane selected, we're going to tab into edit mode, right click, and we're going to go subdivide. Go to our subdivision little tab here that opened up, and we're going to take the cuts up to something like 12. So let's just type it in, 12. Okay, so we're going to make 12 cuts, tab out of edit mode. Then what we're going to do is go to our modifiers tab, add modifier, and we're going to go to displace. Then we're going to go down to our texture tab, go new. We have this texture already selected, so go to type and make it clouds, like so. Then just go to our front orthographic view, and maybe we can just bring this guy down a little bit, like so. Okay. So in our front orthographic view, go Shift A and then add a camera. Go to your right orthographic view and go G to move your camera. Just move it to about here. Then we're going to grab this plane, go G, Y, and we're going to move it roughly to about here, like this. Then just move the camera here to the end of the plane. So roughly something like this. So your camera is kind of towards the end, and the deer is sitting about here. Not quite in the center, just a little bit forward. Then what we're going to do is, with our camera still selected, go to our camera settings, and we're going to make the focal length 75. So type in 75, hit enter. So if we get our camera view by hitting 0, we should now see our deer here. So this is maybe the deer might be a little bit too close to the camera. So G, Y, move it more a little bit to the center. And then grab our camera here, G, Z, bring it down. And we might be able to bring our deer to the side a bit here. And then just select our camera, hit G, and then our middle mouse wheel, just to move the camera back a bit. So I'm going to go with something like that. That looks good for now. So just pose it roughly like this. It can be however you want it. This is just kind of the pose I'm going with. Then I'm going to select this plane here. And the right orthographic view, I'm going to go Shift, duplicate, right click to let go, and then go R90 to rotate. So you've rotated 90 degrees, then I'm going to bring it back to here. Doesn't have to be exact, bring it roughly there. And then we're going to go to our modifiers tab, and we're going to take the strength here, and we're going to drag that up like so. Okay, so got our camera view, and we should now see something like this. So what we're going to do now is go to our material settings, and we're going to start making this look really cool by adding some awesome shaders to it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is select our plane here. It doesn't matter, either one of these, it doesn't matter, just select one of them. And then what we're going to do is go to our shading tab here, so click on shading. Then we're going to go into our camera view here by hitting 0. And we're just going to go into our solid view for now. Then we're going to go to our render settings here. We're going to make sure we have Eevee enabled. Also go enable ambient occlusion, bloom, and screen space reflections. Those are very important. Then what we're going to do is grab our deer here, just go to material here and get rid of all of these materials, just get rid of them. So we're going to create a new one here and call it deer and hit enter. But first of all, we're going to just start with this material here. So with this, either one of these planes selected, go new and just call it plane and hit enter there. What we're going to do is set up a really basic but easy material. So we're going to grab this guy here, kind of make it like a darkish kind of gray, the principled BSDF. It's automatically plugged into the surface, so that's fine. Then what we're going to do is go Shift A, we're going to search and we're going to get a mix shader. Put the mix shader in between these two. Make sure that this one is in the top socket if it isn't. So just put it in the top socket. Then we're going to go Shift A, search, and we're going to get an emission shader. And take this guy and plug it into the bottom socket here, like so. And you can make the color whatever you want. I like to go with sort of like a bluish kind of color, like this. Oh, blue. There we go. A bluish kind of color, and I'm going to set the strength to about 15. We can change this later if it's too bright. Then what we're going to do is get a wireframe node. So Shift A, search, and we're going to get a wireframe node, and this is actually one of my favorite nodes in Blender. Then we're going to go Shift A, search, and get a color ramp node. Put a color ramp node above here. Take the factor, plug it into the factor here. Then take this color and plug it into the factor of our mix shader. Plug it in here. Then what we're going to do is make this a constant. So constant, and then we're going to drag this black value into about here, and then drag the white value down to about here. Then we're going to make this here pixel size. And if we go Z and we go to rendered view, we're going to see at the moment it's quite thin. So what we can do is make the size here 0.1. Okay, I'm going to go with 0.1 for now. Then I'm going to grab the plane at the back here, go to this little tab here, just drop down and find that material. So we called it plane. Here, there it is. So just name it plane. So now both of these have the plane material. Okay. And what we can do is make this 0.2 if we wanted to, bring it up a bit. So I'm going to go with 0.2 for this. And I'm going to just come here and make this blue a little bit more blue, like that. Now what we can do is grab our deer over here. Go to our modifiers tab, get rid of the armature here, and then go add modifier, and we're going to add a wireframe modifier. Just go to our solid view for now, and you can make this whatever thickness you want. I'm going to go with something like that. Not too thick. Then I'm going to go to my modifiers tab here. We already created the material earlier called deer. So we're just going to make this a emission. So click on the surface here and make that type an emission. Then we're going to make the color whatever you want to make it. So I'm going to kind of go with this kind of orangey color. I'm going to make the strength of it 5. And if we go here and we hit Z and we go to our rendered view, we should now see something that looks like this. And you can mess around with these colors, make it whatever you want. It's all personal taste. Maybe bring this guy in here. Maybe grab this guy here at the back, just bring it back a bit more. So G, Y, bring it back a bit more like that. Now go into our camera view. So I like the way this looks. Maybe that emission strength is a little bit too much. And once again, one of the reasons I never really give exact numbers is because it's always a little bit different when I do the tutorial based on my original project as well. So I'm going to just go with these values. They work for me. You guys can mess around with them as much as you want. Now to make this look even cooler, what we can do is select our camera. Then we're going to go to our camera settings and go to depth of field, enable depth of field. Click on this little tab to drop it down, and then we're going to go to focus object, click on a little eyedropper, and we're going to select our deer model. So click on the deer model, and then go to our f-stop here and drag it all the way down. Okay, maybe not all the way down, let's just make it something like 0.3. Okay, 0.3, I'm happy with that, that looks really cool. So now we have this nice kind of depth of field. We can grab our deer here and rotate it on the Z to give it a bit more depth or character, maybe rotate it like that. Okay, so that looks really cool, and that's the final result, and I'm going to leave this tutorial at this, so we can go and just give it a render. And here we have it, guys. This is our final render. It looks really awesome, really abstract, but really simple to do. You can make so much of this. I mean, you can use whatever model you want and give it the wireframe with the emission. So if you like this, go to Twitter, share it with people, look me up on Instagram or Twitter. I do have that in the link below, along with this model, if you haven't already downloaded this model. So I'll see you guys for another tutorial. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.